Hi, you guys. My name is Bernice Madrigal, and today we'll be talking about the plastic straw ban nationwide. So, oftentimes, when we think about our futures, we think about being successful, achieving a certain goal. But I think a lot of times, what people don't think about is the type of environment that they're going to leave future generations in. And so, today I'm here to argue about why straws should be banned, but under certain circumstances. And to do that, I'm going to talk about its history, its problems, and then later talk about some solutions that could hopefully benefit all parties involved. So, to start off, we're going to go ahead and talk about the history of the straws. And so, basically, we could find that a straw has been used as far as back as 3000 BC by Sumerians of Mesopotamia. And the reason why they came up with straws or started using the straw is because they had basically like this large vat to drink out of, and because it was so heavy to just like pick around and pass it around, they decided to build a big straw, basically big straws for people to just come up and drink out of. And then in 1937, we have Joseph Friedman, who decided to create a bendy plastic straw for his daughter when he noticed that she was having a difficult time drinking out of a straight straw. And then in 1950s is kind of when it really took off, because that is the around the years that the automobile began to become more popular. And so since people had a means of transportation, we would see more people often going out like for fast food or at restaurants, things like that. So in order to accommodate all those people that were showing up to the restaurants, they weren't able to wash a plate, give it out, wash another plate, give it out, things like that. So they basically relied on plastic. And so when they did that, that kind of just started producing more plastic waste. And then last but not least, we do have marine biologist Christine Figner, who posted a video of herself doing research. And when she was doing this research, she pulled a straw out of a turtle's nostril, and that kind of, it went viral, and so it like triggered a lot of people. And so basically the result of that was France completely banning all plastic cutlery. And so now we could see that the problem with plastic straws is that it's contributing to plastic pollution. And I found this article by Food Technology that says that they have found that more than 6.3 billion tons of plastic waste already exist out there, and only 14% is collected for reuse. So all these years we've collected 6.3 billion tons of plastic, and only 14% of it is used. And then on top of that, we don't even know if that's even, if all of it is that, if that entire 14% is actually being reused. It's just saying that it could be reused, but we don't know if we're actually reusing it. And so now that we have some history, we're going to go ahead and talk about some other problems, basically. And some other problems are the harm that plastic waste can contribute to the environment. And so I found a research journal that claimed that the problem is that plastics are non-biodegradable, and that the overconsumption of plastic has increased the massive problem of plastic pollution in waterways and oceans. So if we could find some biomaterials that were just easily degradable, we wouldn't have so much trash in the landfills, we wouldn't have so much trash in the ocean, so much in our waterways. It wouldn't necessarily be polluting the air, but because we don't convert to those biomaterials, it is becoming a problem, and we're just creating landfills, and we're just creating trash in the oceans and trash in the waterways, and that's just not very safe to drink out of, to be a part of, to even breathe out of. And so according to a Current History article, consumers are expected to reduce consumption and disposal of plastic products. Meanwhile, the ultimate sources, the industries that produce, market, and export plastic products, have largely avoided regulation and accountability. So that goes for all the major companies, like they want us to stop using all these plastic, to be environmentally friendly, but they're not doing their part. And I think a prime example of that could be like Amazon. Like, especially right now, we're relying on it so heavily to get like whatever things we need. And every single time we get a package from Amazon, it's always full of plastic, styrofoam. It's always full of like plastic waste that is just very unnecessary. And so I feel that if they were able to convert to like biomaterials, then it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Like if they could do it, then they could teach other delivery companies that they could do it as well, and then we could slowly start making that change. So now that we've talked about its history, the problems, we're going to go ahead and talk about some of the solutions. And so the first re-regulation plan would be to eliminate straws, but under certain circumstances. So eliminating straws, but for certain people. So I'm going to read to you guys a quote that I found on Catalyst, this Catalyst article, and it says, "We need plastic straws to drink for nutrition and hydration. We deserve access without request. Exemptions by the non-disabled cannot protect us." So basically, this article was just talking about how the disabled need those straws to drink. They need them for hydration. They need them for nutrients. And this goes back to Joseph Friedman when he made that plastic straw for his daughter. He basically made it for her because she wasn't able to sit up properly, drink out of a straight straw, you know? So that's basically why we need to make the ban for the plastic straw, but we need to make it under certain circumstances, because there are people out there that do need these straws, and it's just unfair to take it away from them when it's like their only means of survival, basically. And so to connect to the last claim, we will also be changing plastic products to biodegradable plastics, because as we mentioned earlier, that's just like the more environmentally friendly thing to do, as far as, you know, getting like these plastic waste to decompose. And so if we can, you know, change those packagings, if we could just change the way we deliver like food in, not like in plastic containers, but just like in like cardboard containers and things like that, it would be a major help. So today I talked about the history and current problems of plastic straws. I also talked about how it affected the environment, how it affected people physically and personally. And I hope that this was an eye-opening experience on who this ban mostly impacts, why it is important to, you know, think about the amount of plastic waste that we have in our environment. And hopefully this could be also an eye-opening experience for you guys to be able to make certain changes so that we could save the planet. Thank you.